Hello and welcome back to another video of Circuit Digest. In this video, I'll show you how you can build a motor driver hat for your Raspberry Pi so that you can control all your motors directly from your Raspberry Pi itself. For example, you can control two of these DC motors, two of these servo motors, and apart from that, you can also interface an LCD display to know what's happening inside your Raspberry Pi program. So the reason for me building this project is that previously we have built many Raspberry Pi based robots like this Raspberry Pi line follower robot, this Raspberry Pi web controlled surveillance robot, and this Raspberry Pi based ball tracking robot. Now, one thing that you would have noticed common in all these robots is that we would have used DC motors like this to control the wheels of our robot. Normally, what we have to do is that we have to use a Raspberry Pi and an L293D IC to interface these motors to the Raspberry Pi. With a hat like this, you can directly connect your hat to the on top of the Raspberry Pi and connect both of these motors to the screw terminals and be done with your programming to control your DC motors. So in this video, I'll explain how the entire circuit works and also how to program your Raspberry Pi to control your DC motors and servo motors. So let's get started. Now, before we get into the details of the circuit diagram, it is important for me to mention the sponsors of this video and also fabricators of these shiny black boards, PCBWay. PCBWay provides high quality and cost-effective PCB prototype and fabrication services. They are well equipped to handle standard and advanced PCB designs and can also provide assembly stencil and PCB assembly services. They are known for their shorter lead time and customer service and also supports the maker community. So do consider giving them a try for your next PCB. Now coming back to the circuit diagram, let's start from the L293D motor driver section. I'll just zoom in for you. Let me start by giving an overview of what all are present on this board. So the first and foremost thing is the L293D motor driver IC. Now obviously, as we know, these motors require a lot of power and it is not possible to drive them directly from the 3.3 volt of the Raspberry Pi. So we'll be using a motor driver IC like this L293D, and then over here we have the male Berg sticks to connect your 16x2 LCD display. You can use a female Berg stick as well, and then we have 4 push buttons which are user configurable. For this demonstration, I have used it to turn on and turn off the robot, but you can use it to unprogram it to do different functionalities as well. Over here we have the Raspberry Pi female connector pins, which will be useful to mount the board directly on top of Raspberry Pi. And over here we have 3 connectors. The first one will be used to power the Raspberry Pi board as well as the Raspberry Pi. So yes, so you only have to power this board and this board will itself power the Raspberry Pi. You don't need to use separate power sources. So you have to connect your power source here. Your DC motor 1 will be connected here and your DC motor 2 will be connected here. Here you can find 4 status LEDs which will indicate which motor is being powered. For example, if the first motor is powered with the lead 1 as positive and this as negative, then this will turn on and this will turn off. Similarly, for the other motor, these two will indicate which is the direction of the motor. And over here you can find a lot of jumper pins. These jumper pins are used to get 3.3 volts, 5 volts and also connect your servo motor. So this jumper pin over here can be used to connect your servo motors directly, and you can program your Raspberry Pi to control those servo motors. This is a LM317 voltage regulator IC which receives the 5 volt from Raspberry Pi or from this power source, and it converts it to 3.3 volts to power the Raspberry Pi as well as other sensors which you might need. So you can also get the 3.3 volts and the 5 volts from the jumper pins over here. Now this is just a rough explanation. Let's get into the detailed explanation with the circuit diagram over here. Now, as you can see, this is the L293D motor driver IC, and in which pin number 1 and pin number 9 are the PWM pins, which is coming from the Raspberry Pi. So what exactly happening here is that pin number 1 and pin number 9 are called the enable pins, and you have to keep this turned on to power the motors. If you use a PWM signal to provide a variable voltage to these pins, you will be able to control the speed of the motor. For example, here you can see M1 PWM is used to control the speed or the voltage that is being provided to motor 1, and M2 PWM is used to control the speed or voltage that is being provided to motor 2. You can see both M1 PWM1 and M2 PWM are connected to your Raspberry Pi over here, which supports PWM functionalities. Then moving on, we have M1 in, M1 out, M1 out 2, M1 in 2. So basically you'll have two inputs for each motors and two output for each motor. For motor number 1, you can find the two input pins and output pins on this side, and for motor number 2, you can find the two input pins and output pins on this side. Apart from that, we will use this VCC to power the IC as well as the motors. And then we have the ground pins. Obviously the IC also needs a ground pin. Now moving on, a few more things that you should notice in this circuit diagram is that we have the jumper pins, which I mentioned earlier. So for example, let me show it on the board as well. So for example, jumper pins J3 and J5 will provide you 5 volt and ground. So if you look at here, you can see these strips will provide you 5 volts and this will provide you ground. Similarly, J6 over here will give you 3.3 volts and ground. So you can directly connect any sensors or modules which require 3 volts or 5 volts to these jumper pins. Then over here, you will see the connection to interface a servo motor. Let me bring it over here. So J2 jumper 2 is used to connect your servo motors. For example, if you take the default or the most popular SG90 servo motor, you can see that the pins have three wires on the pins, which is the ground, the VCC and the signal pin. So if you keep it over here, then you can see that orange is for PWM, red is for the power, which is getting 5 volts, and a brown is the ground. So you can directly connect these servo motors to your jumper pins like this, and you can program your Raspberry Pi to control the servo motor. Now what happens here is that you can see M1 PWM1 is used to control the signal provided to servo 1, and M2 PWM is used to control the signal provided to servo 2. You can see that M1 PWM and M2 PWM are used here to are connected to the Raspberry Pi over here to control the direction of your servo motors. Then moving on, we have the indicator LEDs over here. So these are the LEDs that I told you earlier. You can see these indicator LEDs over here. These LEDs are used to indicate in which direction your motor is rotating. They are just directly connected to the GPIO pin of your Raspberry Pi through a resistor. You can see that these pins are named as M1 in 1, M1 in 2. So that is motor 1 input 1, motor 1 input 2, motor 2 input 1 and motor 2 input 2. You can notice all these pins are connected over here to the GPIO. So basically it is from the GPIO signal from the Raspberry Pi goes to the L293D, and the L293D in turn controls the voltage provided to the motors, which will be connected over here. So you can see motor 1 input 1, motor 1 input 2, motor 2 input 1 and motor 2 input 2 connected over here. Moving on onto this side, we have the LM317 section, which I showed you earlier. So this is our LM317 IC, which is used to provide 3.3 volts. And over here we have the LCD connectors, which are given over here. So normally if you want to interface an LCD to your Raspberry Pi, you have to connect all these pins and use so many wires. But now if you're using this shield, you can just directly connect the LCD to your shield and you can program your Raspberry Pi. As you can see, the pins from the LCD like reset, enable and all the data pins are connected to the Raspberry Pi, and you can see them here. And then you can also see the potentiometer here, which is used to adjust the contrast of the LCD. Then moving on, finally we have the software configurable push buttons over here, which is key 1, key 2, key 3 and key 4, as you can see them on the board over here. So these push buttons again will be useful when you want to send any commands to the Raspberry Pi. All of them are pulled up to 3.3 volts, and the signal pin is connected to the GPIOs. So when you press push button 1 or the SW1 will get its respective signals. You can see SW1, 2, 3 and 4 are connected to different GPIO pins of your Raspberry Pi. So this is like an ultimate motor driver module which can help you solve so many problems and speed up your robotics project that you're building with Raspberry Pi. Now, as always, the complete circuit diagram for this project can be found at the link given in the description of this video. Along with the circuit diagram, you can also see the Gerber file to fabricate these PCBs. Let me show you how you can use a Gerber file to order PCBs from PCBWay.com. To order your PCBs from PCBWay, just go to their website PCBWay.com and you will be taken to their webpage. Over here, you just have to enter the dimensions of your PCB. Say mine, for example, is 50 cross 30 mm. And the number of quantity I need will be 5 pieces and the thickness is 1.6 and the number of layers is 2. Click on quote now and you will be taken to another page where you can see few more specifications of your PCB. Most of that you can leave to the default values. If you know what you're doing, you can even change them. And then over here on the solder mask color, you can choose the color of the PCB. Say for example, we'll choose black because the PCB I showed to you was in black in color. The good thing is whatever color you choose, the price is going to remain the same. For example, over here you'll see that our build time will be 3 to 4 days for 5 PCBs and the total price for the fabrication of PCBs is $5. Then here I am shipping it to India and I'm going to use FedEx, and as you can see my shipping will be delivered on 2020-12-29 and the total cost I would have to pay for these PCBs will be $27. Just click on save to cart and you will be taken to another page where they'll be asking for the Gerber file. So to upload the Gerber file, just click on add to Gerber and upload the Gerber file, which can be found at the link given in the description of this video, or you can also use your own Gerber files to get your own PCB designed. So with that, your ordering process will be complete. Within 7 to 10 days, your PCBs will reach to your doorstep. As you can see, the quality of the boards were really good. The bias, the tracks and the holes, everything were properly done. And so I just proceeded with fabricating my board and everything was ready to run as such. The mistake that you see here is that I used a wrong footprint and I did not find the exact smaller size screw terminals, so I had to improvise with what I have and I used wires for extension. But don't worry, I have changed the footprint now and you won't be facing this problem. So now let's connect this module on top of our Raspberry Pi here and power it and connect some DC motors and see how it works. This is a small demonstration of our Raspberry Pi hat module. As you can see, the module is connected to the Raspberry Pi. We have also connected it to LCD, powered it with the lithium polymer batteries, and we have two motors with wheels attached to it. When I press this button, you can see that the LCD displays left when the left wheel is rotating. Similarly, it displays right when the right wheel is rotating and reverse when both the wheels are rotating in reverse direction. So this is just to demonstrate to you how the board works. Now what we'll do is we'll actually build a small robot and we'll connect these motors and wheels to its chassis and again power it with the same lithium polymer battery as you can see here. So let's connect it and we'll show you how it works. As you can see, I have just lifted the robot so that it doesn't run away from the camera, and once I press this button you can see the same code starts to execute. Now the program for this is very simple, so I'm not going to explain it, but you can also find the program given at the link in the description of this video. Apart from this, you can also control servo motors and use PWM signals to control the rotation of your servo motors. So that is it guys, this is how the project works. Hope this board will be very useful for building all your future projects. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up and also post the comments about what do you think of this video. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.